Listen, I am pretty open to new experiences, but the one thing I have heard makes a great day turn to shit is getting punched in the face. And I imagine you're a lot like me and would rather go the rest of your life without getting punched in the face again. Well, good news. I'm Ira Scribble, and today I'm going to teach you how to win a fight.
But Ira, I've got little noodle arms, and the only sport I can play is Quidditch.
No worries, friend. These are my 4 easy steps to win a fight without fighting. But first, a few assumptions. Number 1, I'm going to assume that in a traditional punch-kick affair, you would get stomped on American History X style, which is okay. Not everybody can be a good fighter, nor should they be. Stephen Hawking is a fucking badass, but he couldn't beat pitcher Jim Abbott in a thumb war. A fucking thumb war. Number 2, I'm also going to assume that the person you are planning to fight is not a bona fide psychopath or a UFC madman. If you run into these guys, my tips will not save you. Just buy yourself a mouth guard and hope you don't end up looking like a retired hockey player. However, you should probably be trying to avoid fights because you never know who will end up being a professional killer. Which leads us to a pop quiz. All right, take a look at these 3 people. Which one of these people do you think is a professional fighter? Go ahead, pick one. Okay, time's up. You picked number 1, didn't you? Didn't you? Well, you're fucking wrong. The scary-looking individual in box 1 is professional wrestler Mark Calloway, better known as The Undertaker. And we all know that wrestling is choreographed and advanced, so technically you picked the professional ballerina. The correct answer was box number 2. This baby man goes by the name Chris Horodecki, and here is a picture of him pounding on someone's ass. I bet you didn't see that coming, did you? Oh, and box number 3 is a guy named Francois Sagat. He's a gay porn star, and here's a picture of him pounding on someone's ass. Okay, on to the tips. Step 1, get people. The key to every point here is people. Make sure you bring a lot of people to the fight. Any type of people will do, but make sure you have at least one person who is either huge or crazy looking. Now, like I said previously, you can't judge a book by its cover, but if you show up with the cast of Little People Big World, it doesn't have the right effect. The best trick to gather a crowd is to walk up to any group of people and say, "Hey, I'm about to go kick the shit out of Bobby. Want to come watch?" To which everyone will say, "Yeah, because fights are like titties. Even the bad ones are worth seeing." Now, when you roll up to Bobby and his 2 or 3 stupid friends with a crowd of 30 people behind you, you might actually hear the sound of his penis inverting. Step 2, trash talk. In any fight I've seen, there is always a little trash talk before the big dance. And the art of trash talk takes years of practice to really master. But even if you were born with a stutter and a lisp, there's an easy way to win. Just repeat whatever your opponent says, slower, in a different cadence, and then question him. So if he says, "I'm going to take your glasses and shove them up your ass," you respond with, "So you want to take my glasses and shove them up my ass? Do you typically like putting things in boys' asses?" Now, if you can either make your crowd laugh or your opponent say, "Whatever, man, oh, it's stupid, no," that's your cue to say, "That's what I thought, bitch," and turn around and walk into your crowd, preferably in the direction of your biggest or craziest supporter. Step 3, team effort. Obviously, we are trying to avoid it coming down to this, but if fists are going to fly, you are sure going to be glad that you have a lot of people backing you up. Worst case scenario, you take a few punches to the back of your head and your team breaks it up before you have to eat through a straw for the next month. But best case scenario, the large, potentially violent individual you started walking towards sees a sucker punch coming, returns fire, and your backup takes care of business like Mike Tyson in '85, making you look like a fucking Bond villain sending your henchmen to do your bidding. Step 4, spin it. Let's say steps 1, 2, and 3 didn't quite go as planned, and you get trampled like a drunk American at the running of the bulls. You still have the politician's way out. Just tell everyone you won. Fights are like ice dancing competitions in the Olympics. Whoever most people think did the best wins. Just tell everybody you had a fight with Bobby, and you beat the shit out of him, and that news will spread. Like mouth herpes at a beer pong tournament. Hey, real quick, this video took a shit ton of time to produce, so if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe or share it with a friend, because if nobody does any of that, I probably won't make any more. Okay, thanks.